This year, blessing, money, testimony. Go they follow, 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 follow you they go.
This year, good news, giant plenty balling. Go they follow, 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 follow you they go.
Everything I've been wanting, manifesting for my life.
Everything you've been wanting, manifesting for your life.
Even before you call, you don't answer prayer.
Welcome back. It's a new country, it's a new day, and I did something different because when I was about to land, I was blown away by the greenery. It's my first country where I've seen it so green when the plane is about to land. So anyhow, I arrived in Colombia, as you can see, and I was in the city of Medellín. So this is me when I was going through the airport. They had some colorful murals, and I was pretty pleased to see a black person and the representation of black people in the airport. Everyone was friendly. Immigration officers were really friendly, so I got through really quickly. And when I came out, my Airbnb had arranged a taxi for me to be picked up, so my taxi driver was out there waiting, and we walked to his car. And prepared for the journey through Colombia. Now, Medellin blew me away. Medellin is so beautiful. But before we get into that, this tunnel is the longest tunnel, I think, in Latin America. It's 7 miles long. And when I was driving through it, I couldn't help but think of Pablo Escobar because, you know, in the whole drug trade, they used a lot of tunnels. So this was my first tunnel. So then as we came through and I was driving and we're heading to our destination, which was pretty far out, I would say about maybe 40 to 45 minutes because the airport is in a town called Rio Negra, and that will come up shortly. You will see the sign showing Rio Negra, which in English translates to Black River. And the funny thing is, in Jamaica, we do have a place called Black River. So we're going to come up on that sign soon. But yeah, I was saying the airport is pretty far from Medellin. So there's the sign Rio Negro. That's the city where the international airport is. Again, Colombia I was just so impressed with it. And again, I should be specific and say Medellin because that's where I went. Colombia is pretty big. There are many different cities there, but I was in Medellin and just the greenery. The camera, it really isn't doing it any justice, but Colombia on a whole, Rio Negra, this first city, was my first impression, and it was just greenery everywhere, everywhere. It was beautiful. I was really, really, really impressed. So we're going to journey to my Airbnb, and I'm going to put in some music in the interim. So when we were coming back from the airport and we were in the city part, we're now in Medellin, I saw the food vendor and I stopped to try out the food and it was pretty good. I don't recall the names of them, but I really, really liked it. It was delicious. You know, I bought one that looks like a patty, had egg and cheese in it, and then this one tasted more like a croissant with cheese. So it was delicious. So I wanted to stop at a supermarket and grab a few knickknacks before I got to the Airbnb like I usually do. You know, I like to get water, fruits and nuts and things like that just to have on hand. So this is us pulling up to the supermarket. And look, it's a black security guard. There's a good representation of black people in Medellin. I really saw a lot of us and I was very shocked. I was not expecting that. So that was pretty cool. It helped me feel comfortable. And you know, Colombia is a Spanish speaking country. Little English is spoken here. You might see a theme here. I've been going around to mainly the Spanish speaking countries for the last few trips because I'm trying to knock out the Latin America region. So this is the next morning. I woke up bright and early because I had a special trip planned for this day. I am a big fan of Narcos. I don't know if you've seen the series, the Narcos series with Pablo Escobar. So I planned an excursion this day to go on a Pablo Escobar tour. And this was my breakfast. This is from some of the fruits that I bought yesterday at the supermarket. So now we're going on the tour. Come along with me. And on the way, we had to go through some of the jungle, the real jungle that Pablo Escobar used to escape from a lot of the FBI, CIA, and the Colombia police, etc. And this is where we had to drive to go through to La Cathedral, the prison he had built for himself. So this was pretty exciting to actually be going through the actual jungle up there. But I'm going to take you on the tour, so here it goes.
You can see the ladies that they are feeding over there, right? The problem is that he lives more or less time here, and the Cali cartel, the enemies of Pablo, brought a car with a...
So this first stop was where Pablo Escobar had built his house. He had a big house here, but they knocked it down to honor a lot of the people that were killed. So it's now a memorial.
Homicide in order to kill him, because they were jealous of him. Escobar, the Medellín cartel, used to possess a monopoly of the cocaine. They used to control 80% of the marketplace of cocaine in the planet in the best moment. That's why the Cali cartel sent a car with a homicide in order to kill him. But he wasn't here. He was doing something else, and then the only person who suffered from this was his daughter. His daughter lost the audition for 1 year. She became deaf because of the situation. That's why there was a conflict between Cali and Medellín cartel. Here you can see a picture of the same place when it was bombed by the Cali cartel. You can see that it was not in good condition. It was kind of destroyed. Can you see? Mm-hmm. And that is the moment when they start to be enemies. The Cali cartel, Medellín cartel. That is why eventually the Medellín cartel sent him to be killed. And he was killed by one of the most important hitmen in the Medellín cartel that today is alive. This is John Jairo Velázquez, nicknamed Popeye. He is one of those things that is called sicarios. Sicarios is a person that you pay to kill someone. So this person killed Carlos because Carlos was betraying Pablo Escobar. Eventually I have to explain about him later because he's not the only survivors in the Medellín cartel. There are 3 or 4 of them. Clear is a woman. Before, for girls, it was more difficult to have a position as a lawyer, reporter, or something because it used to be a man's work, right? That is one thing. The other thing is that she was pretty strong by capturing drug dealers, and drug dealers consider her like someone scared, to be scared of, right? She had to be killed eventually. And this is that person. This is Maria Elena Diaz. Diaz was a lawyer. She was capturing drug dealers. This guy had to kill her. And here you can see the car that it was bullet, right? And she was followed by, not by 1 motorcycle, but 3. In this case, 6 guys shooting at her. Boom, boom, boom. And that's how she was killed. She was doing her job. That's why the most famous phrase of Pablo Escobar was born. Plata o plomo. Money or bullets. If you help me, you get money. If you don't help me, you get killed eventually. That is the Medellín cartel that is the phrase that he was using to scare the people. Okay, listen. This is another person that is important to name. This is Hernando Vaquero. Vaquero was a judge in the Supreme Court. He was doing his job as a lawyer, as a judge, trying to capture drug dealers. And he was offered $2 million to stop working and didn't take it. That is why he has to be killed. When he was going home, the same like the other, he was followed by two guys in a motorcycle. And he used to say the following in Spanish: "We are what we left behind to the others." This is another way of saying inflection in words, the name of the memorial park. If we are good people, we left behind good people. If we are bad people, we left behind bad people. Everything clear? 1989 is the most difficult year, speaking about people being killed. According to the books, according to the government, 29,000 people died just this year. 9,000 just in Medellín. And there are some bombs that they put it in the same day. For example, here you can see 3 on the same day. In this pharmacy, Drogas La Rebaja. And you can see another 2, 3 days later in the same pharmacy. 5 total in 4 days. This pharmacy, Drogas La Rebaja, was belonging to the Cali cartel. Remember, the Cali cartel hurt his daughter here in the Monaco building. This guy has to be destroyed. These places were being used for laundering money in those companies for the Cali cartel. So innocent people died there. Clear? Let me show you more. You can be able to see that they put a bomb anywhere you can think. They put a bomb in police station, gas station, fire station, Catholic churches, Mormon churches, Jewish. They put a bomb in high school, university, stadiums, discotheques, bars. They put a bomb in theater, banks, pharmacy, anywhere. Why? Because they wanted to tell the government plata o plomo. Why? Because they wanted to change the extradition law from the Constitution. They didn't want to be sent to the US or any other country. They wanted to be jailed in Colombia. And this is a way to tell the government, or you help us, or we kill people. Clear? Here we can see the most difficult day. Here we can see the most difficult day on the most difficult year. On the same day, August 27, 1989, the Medellin cartel put it in total 8 bombs in different locations in Medellin City. You can see all of them in banks, Banco Cafetero, Banco de Colombia, etc. The problem about this is that those banks were sharing information about the Medellin cartel transaction. Because they were doing this thing, they had to be destroyed. Innocent people again died there. Clear? Let me show you more. Here you can see, remember Guillermo Cano, the most important that I consider, right? After he was killed, his son continued writing about Pablo, about the Medellin cartel. And his newspaper was destroyed, El Espectador. And you can see it here. El Espectador was completely destroyed. No one died from this. But yeah, it's a way to tell to them, don't write about us. Because we are reading. You understand me? Let me show you more. Officer told to Gaviria that there was a bomb inside. That never happened. The reality is that he never went to the airport. Because he had to do something more important for the presidency. He wasn't in the airplane flew without him, and the bomb was inside, and boom, everyone died. Here you can see a picture of the same airplane being destroyed. 107 people died that day. Between stewardess. Listen, the following things that you can see here is the many bombs that this guy put in different locations in Colombia. You are going to be able to see over 200 bombs. I'm going to explain the main ones because it's too many of them. Remember I told you that anything that happened before 84 is what to do whatever he wants? Because nothing has happened yet. No mistake has happened yet. Eventually the things became more complicated. The first one is one of the 3 mistakes that I told you that they are the most important. Remember that he was killing Rodrigo Lara Bonilla, the Minister of Justice. The second mistake also happened in 1984 because they bombed the United States Embassy in Bogota City. That is a mistake because for the first time Pablo was showing power, was spreading fear around the people, and that's when finally the U.S. woke up in order to find them. That's when the FBI, CIA, etc. joined together with the Colombian police, and the things were becoming more complicated. The snowball effect. Clear? The second is the Justice Palace in 1985. The Justice Palace is a government building that you can find in Bogota City. In there was some papers that incriminate Pablo Escobar indirectly speaking, right? Escobar sent the guerrilla, again, to destroy these papers. But the situation went out of control that, thanks to many bombs. That's why for 7 years, Colombians cannot be taken outside of the country to be jailed. We have to be jailed in Colombia. Those 7 years were the best time for drug dealers to go to the jail. That's why there are 3 or 4 that are alive today. Everything clear? This is the first stop. I hope you like it. If you want to take picture around real quick, and then we can continue. Any questions? The following thing that I have to show you is those pictures that is up there on the wall. That is the before and after of the same place that I have to show you. Let me wait for them to finish, and I will explain you better the situation with the picture. Here is original. It was taken from his friend of his family. Here you can see that Escobar used to have living rooms with kitchens. It means that he got chefs serving food for him, obviously. He got big rooms with big beds. He got like TV, things to listen to music, offices with a book and account of the money that he was controlling, legally speaking, because he got bars, discotheques, and more. Here you can see that his son and daughter came to visit him once a week or something like that. Here you can see Spence's painting. This is blurry, but we know that he was having Picasso, Da Vinci's, or something like that. Not only here, in many other locations in Colombia. Here you can see that he got like a place to make parties, have fun, playing dominoes, playing in the pool table with girls or more. Here he got pretty fat, right? Because one was eating a lot, having fun. His wife came here. She's named Victoria now Escobar, nicknamed Tata. Tata also came here with his son and daughter. Here you can see Popeye, the guy that I showed you in the first stop. Pablo, a bodyguard of Pablo and a girlfriend of the bodyguard of Pablo, and they were having a good time. There you can see how the structure used to be. It was like a square, and they were staying in the middle. Around the area, there was watchtower with fences and electric shot. Everything was faked, because here you can see a picture of the same place. It was looking like a jail, but from outside. Inside was amazing. You can see how it was. He wasn't alone here. He was together with another 9 prisoners. Prisoners, actually friends. One of them was his brothers, and they were having fun. Here you can see Pablo Escobar making a party for his daughter, a birthday party, and the most iconic picture of Pablo behind bars. This picture was taken to show to America that Escobar was actually jailed. Escobar eventually hired a photographer, and this guy came here to take the picture. You can see that they blurred the picture behind, and this is not actually a cell because there was no cell here. It was actually a door that he was standing behind. And there is a mistake in the picture. Can you see a metal thing on the left side up there? That it was a way to close the door with a locker. And it wasn't closed, it was open. You can see that it happened. They sent the picture this way with a mistake, and many others, and that is how Pablo got a phone call, and he just ran away from here. The next picture is basically the after. You can see that it's a nursing home. You can see how it looked like today comparing to before, the same place. If you want to take a picture, you can, and then follow me. I want to show you more things about the place. Any questions?
That nursing home, when we were driving, I saw something on the left. Was that the nursing home? A home that looks like that?
That one?
Uh-huh.
No. That is a private house from someone
Okay.
else.
Okay.
It used to be part of the jail, but now not anymore.
Okay.
Let me.
So that's the second floor of the prison, what it used to be, but it's now a nursing home.
Just stop there 1 second. Around 7 months. Escobar make a deal with the government. He told the government, I'm gonna make a deal. And then he went to his house to be home arrest for 7 months. After the 7 months was built, and he came here for a year. Here. Can you see a greenhouse at the top? The greenhouse used to be a watchtower before. And to see the second floor, because the second floor is basically the jail. It was the jail, sorry. That is the nursing home today. But the place was kind of reconstructed, it's not the same like before. Behind that greenhouse, there was a green field to play football. And some guy from the Colombian selection of football came here to play with him or against him. Either way, Pablo has to win. Yeah. And they were coming because plata or plomo, money or gold. Clear? This parking lot is already not from that time. But it wasn't a parking lot, it was another area to play football on concrete in this kind of field in a smaller space instead of going to the second floor, sorry, to the third floor. Clear so far? Let me show you more. Follow me this way.
So this was a football field.
Yeah,
Oh,
not a parking lot.
wow.
But it changed like 12 years ago, something like that,
Wow.
for the people to visit their family. Okay, stop 1 second. Remember I told you, I showed you a picture that they were playing dominoes, pool table or something. The location where they were playing is this one. But it's not in good condition, obviously. The nursing home, Colombia is the second most Catholic country in Latin America. It means that the nursing home wanted to make a short here. That never happened. You can see that they stopped the construction. Before it was even better, but they let it like abandoned and this thing. But yeah, here is the place that they were having party. They were having fun. Clear? I had a surprise for you in 1 second. There, I'm gonna explain you things. After I finish to speak, you can take pictures, right? Let me show you. So guys, it's an honor to me to introduce you Medellín City. Please come on down.
Oh, wow.
Cuando Pablo Escobar secuestró a toda esa gente, que secuestró también la hija del expresidente.
Oh, wow.
Come on
This
down, please.
is breathtaking. Wow. So Pablo had the view of all the city up here.
No. We are seeing just like 30% of the city.
But he could see this view from
Ah,
his
yeah, yeah, yeah,
prison.
yeah,
Yeah.
And one of the reasons why you can they selected this place that I'm showing you here is because it was in a hole inside the mountain in a previous location to see the city. In the case that someone with a helicopter or something like that was coming here to capture him, he was ready to shoot at them with guns because they can see them from far. Another reason that they selected this place that I'm showing you here is because this area of the city is called the Foggy Forest, and it's pretty easy to be foggy. That's why it's difficult for helicopters to land here. And that is on a heliport. Can you see? The heliport is original from that time. And that's how El Patron came here the first day. Not everyone was able to come this way, just by some people from the police friend of him, his family, police officers, and no more. No more than 25 people. The rest of mortal had to come the way that we did, right? Even the celebrities, because it had to be a secrecy that they were coming here. We didn't discover this thing right after they come here, that they were coming here. I mean, the people like Maradona. We discovered this thing like 10 years later, right? Can you see the door from the left side, all the way from here to the parking lot? That it was a location where the police were sleeping. In my opinion, the police were being treated like dogs because they were sleeping in the second floor with a better, drug dealers with a better viewpoint, and here the police, one room between 7 of them. 7, 8 of them. So they selected this place also because it's big enough, wide enough, flat enough to build all of these things that I showed you so far. Yeah.
Did the police not know what was going on inside?
Yes, but remember Plata o Plomo? You have to do what Pablo wants. It was kind of complicated. They didn't know that the situation was happening this way. When they got here, it was too late. What would you do as a police? Because it's quite new information where you live. What would you do, or things like that? So you were handcuffed, by helping the police. Actually, you understand me? He never escaped by using the helicopter because it was easy to be captured by following the green radar, right? He escaped by walking down.
Oh.
That is why he selected this place, because it's close enough, more or less, to get to the city again. But he didn't do it directly speaking. He did it like a snake coming down, right? In 6 paths or something like that. That's why it took him more or less 20 hours to get to the city again. Because he had to do it like this. After 20 hours, he continued destroying the country when he was free. And then eventually a year and 4 months later, he was shot by the Colombian police. Everything clear?
Do you think the Maradona came here voluntarily, or he was just like invited and he couldn't say no?
Sorry?
Do you think Maradona came here voluntarily to hang out with him, or?
That is different, yeah. I believe so. It's quite like to brag that he was friend of this kind of guys. To show that he was someone important or something like that. Anyways, you want to take pictures, you can. They make a mistake of sending cocaine one way, and it was discovered by the police. And the police took the cocaine, and they lost the shipment, right? They came here to explain the situation to Paulo, and Paulo told them that they have to pay. Because Paulo was a scary man. And there was a big argument between yes and no. I don't pay you, you have to pay me, or something like that. And that's when Pablo said, you don't want to pay me? Take a bullet, and kill them. The rest of the people were enemies or different kinds. But this is the most important one. And it's also in the TV show, I think. Everything clear?
Yeah, it is.
Let me show you more. Another thing that I can show you that is original from that time is the stairs that you can see behind me. That it was the way for the drug dealers and the police to go to the second floor. Today, even the place is reconstructed. The old people aren't able to go up, especially with wheelchair. They have to have a safe path for them. You can see that it's kind of smoggy. And here on the right side, there is a stair that doesn't go to anywhere. Like, Harry Potter or something like that. And they use it to go up. Here there is a picture that I can show you from the same place when it changed, but it's the oldest kind of picture I have because no one was coming here before. You can see that there was a door here, right? The stairs you can see, and you can see the pictures that it was located on the graffitis over there. But yeah, the place has changed throughout the years, and that's it. Something else that you have to understand is that the squad was bringing girls to here. And the girls were especially minors. They were between 13 18 years old. And they were obligated to come here because plata o plomo, right? Money or bullets. And also because these girls were kind of, they were poor. They were coming from the humble areas of the city, like Comuna 13 and etc., right? In order to get outside of the prison, they were coming here to have sex with him, right? One of those girls was not a minor, she was 21. And she got in love with the Pablo Escobar brother that he was staying here with him. They eventually got married, and today are living. And they are living free in Medellín City. I have to explain about them later because they are part of the survivors of the Medellín cartel. Everything clear? This is the second stop. I hope you like it. If you want to take pictures around, do it quick. And the people who need the bathroom, being a soccer player. He came here, had fun, and because he likes girls, parties, and cocaine. And all of these things were happening there. There is an interview that Maradona did in 2007 that he explained the most beautiful girls he slept with were inside there. Here we can see Griselda Blanco. Remember the Black Widow?
Oh,
Sorry?
it's kind of plain, like it's not like a statue.
Yeah, a lot of people get disappointed about that.
True?
I don't know why, but well, what can I say? This is an old cemetery. This is the oldest cemetery in the city. So before it wasn't the way you're saying. I wanted to show her because she's next to her husband. Remember, she killed 3 husbands. When she was in jail here in Colombia, she changed her will, and she said that she wanted to be buried with her favorite husband. So she's buried with the guy that she killed.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where is it? Right here?
Do you understand me?
Yes.
Let me show you the Pablo Escobar grave. Nah, that is not related to him.
It's the one under below it.
Oh, is it the same?
Yeah, it's in the same. No, tell now.
Keep in
Oh,
mind that
yeah.
Escobar is a common last name. You can see it everywhere. Come on, let me show you.
Oh, so his grave is under this one. Okay.
Chacho, buen día.
Ahora yo tenía esto, pero
Can you come closer, please? Can you come here?
era aparte.
Listen, here we can see the biggest tomb in the entire cemetery. Nothing is like this. This is the biggest one. Keep in mind that this wasn't like this before. It's like this thanks to you coming in the last 7 years. Because you're not the only tour I do, right? And before, he was alone. Eventually, they were adding other people around. He's next to another family as him. Keep in mind that this was designed by his sister. Escobar didn't think he was gonna die, right? You can see that he was born December 1st, 1949, and died December 2nd, 1993. He was 44 years old on one day. He died after his first birth. Then you can see Luis Fernando. Luis Fernando was the brother of Pablo. He died in December 25, 1977. He died in a car accident because he was running too fast in the car. Because he was drunk that day, because it was Christmas, he lost the control of the car and went downhill in a mountain, and that happened. Then you can see Teresa. Teresa was considered like a nanny of Pablo. She eventually was taking care of the kids and helping with the mother of Pablo. In the middle, we can see Ermilda. This is the mother of Pablo. She died in 2006, you can see. Remember, she was teaching him this weird education. Then you can see Inés Ofelia. Inés Ofelia was considered another nanny, and she was also the sister of Ermilda. She lived a lot, almost 100 years. Then you can see Gloria Angelica. Gloria was a nurse in the Pablo Escobar family. She was getting a lot of money from the cartel, and she became pretty loyal thanks to the money. And then they are here. Then you can see Álvaro de Jesus. Álvaro died the same day as Escobar, December 2nd, 1993. You can see the same day. This is the bodyguard that he was together with Pablo the last day. He was killed first, and then 2 minutes later, Pablo Escobar. He was nicknamed Lemon, and Lemon was killed the same day as Pablo Escobar. Then you can see Juan Manuel. Juan Manuel was an uncle of Pablo, right, from the father's side. He didn't do anything related to the drug trafficking, but was very loved in the family. Finally, but not least important, his father, Abel de Jesus. His father died in 2001, and remember, he wasn't very present in the Pablo Escobar childhood, and because of that, it's very possible that Escobar became a psycho. But again, that's my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. So this is everything. If you want to take pictures, you can. And in the car, you can ask me more questions. Yeah.
Like the nannies and stuff, could they be so?
Gave away. He gave away in total 70 fields of any kind. Swimming pools, football courts, basketball courts, volleyballs, etc. This is not the only one. But it's the biggest one and with better shape compared to the rest of them. Clear? This place has never been destroyed because it's being used by the kids. Sport is something important for kids. There are matches every day between high schoolers, university guys, and semi-pro. Every day, especially in the afternoon.
You said the name is the El Dorado?
El Dorado, yeah.
Okay.
There is another reason that he created this place. I don't know if you know, Pablo make like a soccer team for himself. To land more money, making more money for him. And they were playing here. Today they are playing a proper stadium somewhere else because this is not big enough like a regular stadium. Regular stadium is for 60, 100,000 people.
So the entire tour took about 4 hours because we went to different locations. You can see we went to the monument. That's in memory of the people who lost their lives, and that's where his original and main house was. That was the first stop. Then we went to the prison he had built for himself called Le Cathedral. And then we went to obviously his burial site. You had seen that. And then we had gone to the sport complex that he had donated to the community. So, it was going to different parts of the city. So it was quite long, but quite educational and informative. I did learn a lot, and I was very pleased that I actually took the trip. It's something that I'll always remember because, again, like I said, I am a big fan of the series Narcos. So I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. So after that wrapped, I headed back to the Airbnb, called it a night, relaxed, and then it was a new day. So this morning I came down and I headed to the kitchen to make something to eat. I was eating just fruits in the mornings here at the Airbnb. This, even though it was an Airbnb, it was also like a hotel, also like a hotel, I would say. So it was self-contained, and you can see me here grabbing stuff from the fridge, and I prepared my fruit, and then I went walking. I was looking, just to get a feel of the place, see what it was like. So this is literally just outside the accommodation here, and I'm trying to get a feel of the city and get a feel of my way around the area. And I turned left, as you can see, and I walked down here. But I think, if memory recalls, this would have been later in the afternoon because when I ate that fruit, I had gone back up to my room and I did some work. So I did not venture back out until late afternoon because in this clip, I'm actually looking for something to eat. And when I was walking, I saw a little supermarket. It's coming up right now, which I didn't know was so close to me. And I was thinking I was going to go and buy something and take it back to the hotel and maybe cook something. And then I thought, well, I'm on vacation. Why would I be on vacation and cook? I mean, I guess you can if you want to, but I wanted to try out their foods, so it would kind of defeat the purpose. So here it is. This is a supermarket here, and I was heading towards it, and then that's when I changed my mind and decided I wanted to try some local food. So I have that here. I stumbled upon this nice little cafe / restaurant, and I saw a lot of people eating there. So I thought, well, the food must be good, right? If a lot of people are eating here, and it was a lot of local people too. So I stopped in and ordered something to eat, and you're going to see that coming up now. So I'll just put in some music. So the food was so good. The food was so good. This soup tasted like Jamaican soup. You know how our soup is rich and hearty? It tasted just the same. And this was made of corn, that white thing. I think they call it aropas. It was okay. I wasn't a fan of that. But the soup, oh my gosh, it tasted like my grandma's Jamaican chicken soup. You actually called the waitress and asked her what kind of soup it was and what was in it. And we were struggling to communicate a bit, but it was just good. That's all I can say. And then next up came the main course, which is fish, and that is coconut rice. And those that look like fritters, they're actually tostanos, which is the crushed plantains. You know, when they crush the semi-ripe plantains and fry them. And it's the same thing here. I was taking pictures and rearranging the plate, so that's why it looks a bit different. But when they had brought it out, this is how they brought it out, with the tostanas on top of the fish. And then you saw in the on the plate before, I had moved the tostanas and put them on the side. But yeah, and all of this food, so the soup, the drink, this full plate came to just 5 US dollars. Like, mind blowing. You know, in America this would probably be a $20 minimum meal, you know. So I couldn't eat it all. I really have a small stomach, even though my eyes are big. So I tried my best to eat as much as I could, and I didn't leave this because it wasn't tasty. It was very tasty. The lemon here, the color of the lemon looked like an orange. So I was trying to zoom in so you could see how it looked like an orange, but it was an actual lemon. But my food didn't go to waste. You know, the bit that I had left, I packed it up, put it in a to-go box, and I took it home. Look how juicy that fish was. It was delicious. So on this day, I was in the hotel working, and I heard a loud bang. I was like, oh my gosh, what could that be? And then I realized that the electricity had gone out because there was no Wi Fi, so I could no longer work. So I was wondering what was going on. I looked out the window, and we found out that a transmitter had blown. So these are the workmen. After a while, they had come out to do the work, and you can see this is a green one now. So they replaced it because the electricity was out for about maybe 6 hours, the whole vicinity, because obviously, you know, it was a blown transmitter, so everyone was affected. But yeah, they're quite efficient. They came out, they fixed it, and then we had electricity again. On this day, I was out walking and it started to rain, so I'd stopped to get some shelter under this shop front. And something I want you to notice, because there are a lot of bikers in Colombia, a lot of them use motorbikes to get around because of the traffic. They walk around or ride around with their raincoats, because I noticed that a lot. Even here, when the rain had stopped and then I had sheltered under a bridge, you'll see a lot of motorcycles pulling up because it started to rain again, and everyone is changing into their raincoats. So it seems to be like a very common thing here. They ride with that in tow just in case it rains. So I was fascinated by that, because the entire time I was sheltering under the bridge, I would see different motorbikes pulling up, people putting on their raincoats and then pulling off again. So it was a nice thing to watch, and it just kept happening the entire time. People would just pull up, pull out their rain gear, put it on, put their helmet back on, and then pull off. So I was capturing some of that. And here we go again, another brother. I'm telling you, they're everywhere in Medellin, which was quite nice. So it didn't rain for too long. It was raining sporadically. So when the rain eased up again, I walked again, and that would happen. It just kept happening. I would stop, get shelter, then keep walking, and I eventually made it back home. This is something I used to do in the evenings, just go for walks because the city is so walkable and the streets are so busy, so friendly. It reminded me of like some areas of London or even perhaps New York, just always busy, always like a 24-hour city. So I enjoyed walking in the evenings. And now I'm actually back at my Airbnb slash hotel. So I made it home dry, even though, like I said, every now and then I would have to stop to get shelter. So this is the night, the view from the hotel slash Airbnb, and I had a long day. I was ready to call it a night, and I guess good night. I'll see you in the morning. And this is a photo of my last meal in Medellin. It was so tasty. So it was avocados, almost like a guacamole style of avocado, and it was grilled chicken, but different variety. That black one is grilled mushrooms, and it looks charred, but it's not charred. It's just the kind of mushroom that they used. I think it was like the purple mushroom, I don't remember. But this chicken here was grilled with cheese inside. Oh my gosh, when I tell you, it was so delicious. Looking at it now, it makes me want to just fly back to Medellin just for this dish. And this was the regular grilled chicken. Really delicious, guys. You can see it's still juicy and succulent. As good as it looks is as good as it tasted. And then we had the grilled pineapples, and they did the aropas again, that corn thing, the one that I didn't like at the other restaurant. But at this restaurant, I don't know if it's because they put it on the char flame or something, but it was really nice at this restaurant. And the sauces were good, everything was good. And I was getting full as usual, but I was like, oh my gosh, no, I've got to finish this. I've got to finish it. It's too good. I'm not trying to save it to take it home because it's just a little bit. So I did finish it. And this entire thing came to about $6.50. Like, the prices are so good. So that was my last meal in Colombia. And before you knew it, I was back at the airport ready to head back to the US of A. So this is me strolling through the airport, waiting to board my flight. All in all, Medellin was fantastic. It's among my favorite places that I've visited so far, and it's definitely on my to go back list. I am just, yeah, I was blown away. If you have not been to Medellin, Colombia, I'm telling you, you won't regret it. It's a top world class city, if I could put it in a nutshell. Oh, this is me just killing time at the airport watching my one of my favorite podcasts. So I take my tablet along with me, so I'm never bored when I have layovers. I just sign on to the Wi-Fi. Sometimes I work, sometimes I just watch my favorite shows. But yeah, Medellin is a must go, guys. If you haven't visited, visit Medellin. Cost of living, the people are friendly, even though there's a language, barrier. If you don't speak Spanish, everyone is friendly, everyone is helpful. Medellin, I will definitely be back. And as always, I thank you so much for watching, and I hope you dance.
Don't let it slip away. Oh, if you want it so much, just dance.